His supporters adore him almost as much as his critics despise him. After 40 years in politics, the last 6 as president, Andrés Manuel Lopez Obrador leaves office this week with the highest approval rating in recent Mexican history.
Our government does not exclude anyone, but we live by this principle. For the good of all, the poor come first.
His social programs, aimed at the youth and the elderly, along with a historic raise to the minimum wage, have lifted more than 8 million people from poverty. But just as important to his popularity has been his ability to speak directly to the electorate during his daily press conference, La Mañanera, a masterclass in political communication, say analysts.
He has really sent 2 basic messages that are really, really powerful. One, that he is one of the people. Even though he is from the political elite since 30 years ago, he still has this way of communicating that really impacts people's lives. And the other one is that he has a message, a really consistent message, which is populist, of course. He is anti-corruption and anti-elite.
But the Mañanera is also a space that AMLO, as he's known here, uses to attack just about anyone who disagrees with him, from journalists to human rights defenders.
It's this near total control over the political narrative which AMLO's detractors say show his authoritarian tendencies, and which they argue have already eroded the country's democracy beyond repair by eliminating checks and balances on the government.
The ruling party, MORENA, holds a supermajority in the legislature, which paved the way for a series of constitutional reforms, including a complete overhaul of the country's judicial system. There are other issues, too. Mexico's murder rate remains sky high, and some parts of the country are controlled by criminal groups. All this despite a widely criticized militarization of the country, which saw the army taking on tasks ranging from massive infrastructure projects to battling drug cartels in the streets.
If you look at governors, if you look at senators, look at representatives, many of them were in the PAN, were in the PRI, and now are in MORENA. The party of President Lopez Obrador is as powerful as it can be.
And his supporters couldn't be happier about that. For them, his legacy as Mexico's best president is already set in stone. Julia Galiano, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.